Okay, so this is how I layer adhesive vinyl. I already cut and weeded and put my design on the transfer tape to save everyone some time, since most of you should know how to do that. If you don't, I can make a separate video for that. So I've got some silver and red Oracal 651 here, and I already put these two layers together. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it on my mug how I want it, and I do usually the hinge method. I find that to be what's easiest for me. So I'm going to use my Cricut scraper here. I'm going to rub it on, and then I'll put my transfer tape up. I have some words that I'm going to put over this, so you'll all be able to see that. If you didn't scrape well enough like I didn't, just push back down with your fingernail. Pull it all up carefully. There you go. Now I have a few words that I'm going to put on this, and they're different colors, so I am going to put them on one at a time. Sometimes I do it all together, but I think what can be easiest is to do it one at a time. So that's what I did to show you guys. So I'm going to line this up where I want it, and I'm going to just press it down. I'm only going to press it really quickly because I'm going to go over it after and press it really well. Normally, I would have sliced the words out of the firework, but there were too many tiny pieces, and I want this to hold up with washing, and just to be on the safe side, I prefer to not have them sliced for this one. I will do another video to show you how I normally slice an image. That will be easier sometimes. So I really just eyeball. You can do registration marks to help you line it up. I feel that kind of it kind of wastes some of my vinyl, so I don't really like to do that. But when you're first learning, it can be much easier if you're worried about getting things on straight or even or anything like that. But I usually just wing it. So I just kind of eyeball it, and for me, most of the stuff I make is for myself or for friends, so for gifts. So I'm not usually super concerned if it's not perfectly straight. If I were to sell it, I would take a little more time, but that's okay. All right. It might be a little hard to see with that blue. No, it looks good in that light. Okay. So that is my finished one with some layered vinyl. I have another one to do for you guys. This time I'll show you how I layer the vinyl. I saved one small piece for that. Again, I usually do the hinge method. And I have a towel on my lap for this. I think that gives me some control, but it also doesn't make it so that my cup's gonna roll away. Some people do slits around like your L's and where your O's and your E's. I usually just kind of work it around, and I'll push these down really well, and when I move this up, I like to I'll use my little weeding tool here, and I'll pick it up a little and then just kind of smooth it out. To me, I like that better. I don't like putting holes in my transfer tape because I really like to reuse it. So this works a little bit better for me. But you can do the slits in it if you find that easier. I have some thin lines here, so I just gotta press them back down. Let's go over it again. Now I have a little firecracker over here. This little blue one, so my transfer tape. I have a little fuse and a spark to put on it. So what I'm gonna do is, I already have the body of the firecracker on my transfer tape. What I'm going to do is just show you how I just eyeball it. So what I'll do is take this little fuse and I kind of line it up in there. See, to my liking. I left some space around it, so it's not going to be perfect, but you see that? All right. And I can usually just rub it with my finger and it will come off since it's a smaller piece. And then I'm going to take my little spark here. You can also do each layer by itself like I did for the blue mug, but this one I thought would be able to show you a little more how you can line stuff up without having to do it. Sorry if I'm not in focus. So just like this, and then I'll rub it with my fingernail. Again, you can put it on your table and scrape it, but you won't be able to see it if I do that, so I just did it this way. I have this little firecracker and I'm just gonna slowly work it on there. And then push out any bubbles I have. I really like to do it with my finger better than my scraper. I feel that gives me a little more control than with my scraper. I feel like because my scraper's so hard, it's not great. You can also use a squeegee. I don't have one of those, so maybe that's a little more flexible and people will like that more. And I'm just gonna carefully peel my transfer tape off. It'll be on there. Sometimes if you do layers on top of layers, you'll get bubbles. So I like to do one at a time to prevent that as best as I can. I have a few little bubbles on the side, so I'll just flatten them out with my finger. And there you go.